I've been going to Red Hills for almost a year now. I went to church for a really long time. I volunteered at Awanas and youth group and really everything that I could volunteer for or participate in, I did. I remember I was sitting in youth group and they were praying about, anybody in the room wanted to ask Jesus into their heart and kind of walking us through it. I repeated everything that they said, but I didn't feel different. Our church had found out about some things that were happening in our family, and they weren't very supportive of me or my mom or any of my siblings. And we just kind of stopped going to church one day. And I spent the next 10 years not going to church at all. And then finally, when my husband and we'd been together for probably about 2.5 years, we came to Red Hills for one service. And it was exactly what we were going through at the time. We started meeting some friends, we met a lot of the staff, and Lane had actually given a sermon on how to choose a church, and I really realized that we were in the right place. So when they were offering baptisms this summer, it just seemed like the perfect time. To me, baptism means publicly telling people about the internal decision that you've made. I'm a very private person, and I think that partially also led to me holding off for a while. A lot of circles of mine, a lot of judgmental people, and if anything, I was ashamed that I hadn't been baptized yet, and so I kind of kept it to myself that I hadn't been. Finally getting baptized was showing everybody else the decision that I had made. I felt a lot of anxiety that morning, just wondering if it was the right time, and I think by the time it was time for me to stand up in line, I felt a lot of peace and a lot of calm that I hadn't felt before that. And so I think now I realize that I didn't need to feel different to have done it, and for him to have heard me. It was a decision that I made, and I think that's one thing I struggle with sometimes is feeling heard and feeling responded to, because I've in the past prayed and not heard anything back, or at least now I've maybe realized that I didn't hear anything back in the way I was expecting to, but I still heard back. But I do think there was a little bit of an anxiety piece too, and me just overthinking whether or not I had said the prayer the right way. But I've now realized that you can't say it wrong if you mean it, and God knows that. He knows what we're asking, even if we don't know what we're asking.